Hey everybody, Professor D'Souza here with a quick intro to Chapter 8, Segment and Interim Reporting. So just to break open this chapter a little bit and get you prepped for class this week and maybe even into next week, we're in the realm of big business here. Very, very large companies that have to report and disclose their financial data in a way that requires them to identify individual segments within their companies and then report out their financial data on a per segment basis. Now, to get us into the right frame of mind, a good question here is, what are the 5 largest companies in the U.S. as measured by revenue? So some of these companies might be, maybe you guessed and had a couple of these companies that are on the screen here. And maybe some of these you didn't realize were one of the 5 largest in terms of revenue. But these are the 5 as measured by Fortune magazine. And the links, by the way, are in the slide if you want to go to that list specifically and kind of look at the additional companies. But if we're in the realm of companies as big as Walmart, Amazon, ExxonMobil, Apple, CVS Health, really, really large companies, a question comes naturally, how do these companies report their activities in a way that is meaningful on a kind of basis that doesn't look at the company through one lens of Walmart Inc. Okay, we want to be able to break the company down into segments and understand their operations on a per segment basis. So what the accounting rules tell us, and this is kind of what we're going to be doing in this course, is looking more in detail at the accounting rules, at this thing called GAAP. And if you don't know what GAAP is, we'll go over it this week. Hopefully you guys all have that memorized from Principles 1 and beyond. But if we look at GAAP, we're going to look at all these different rules, and this is an example of one of the rules. And this is topic 280, and we'll go into what the topic is and the number. But basically, this is a rule around how companies are required to report out segment-based data. So if we're looking at Walmart, just to flip back to the Walmart view, Walmart is a huge company, and they report out their financials looking at U.S. Walmart stores, international Walmart stores, and Sam's Club. So if we look at the financial statements for Walmart, which we'll do in class, we'll see that they report out revenues and sales and all their financials looking through these three primary lenses, these 3 segments. So each of these boxes is a segment, okay? And that's what we mean by segment reporting. Now, how they identify their segments and then the rules they follow to report out by those segments is what this accounting rule gets at, okay? And what we're going to be putting into practice this week, okay? So we're going to look at the actual language of the rule, and then also how that language ties to the annual reports of these large companies. Okay, and you can see here I've got a screenshot of Amazon's annual report, and we'll look at some annual reports more than just Amazon. I've got a whole bunch loaded in Blackboard, and we'll find actual segment-specific language in their annual reports. As we get into this, what we're going to be doing is going into Blackboard. Now I've got on Blackboard here the annual reports and 10Ks, and I've got a whole bunch loaded. You can go into the company that you're interested in looking at. By the way, these annual reports are located in the resources section of Blackboard. And each report is here. It's linked to a 10K that is on the SEC site, the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is a U.S. government agency. We'll also be looking at more detail into the SEC, kind of what it does, what role it plays. But the SEC is a website. We're going to get familiar with this in class because it has so much important information like the annual reports for us to reference. So I've got Walmart's annual report up here on the screen. I want you guys to be going into companies that you're interested in on this SEC site. So if you're interested in Walmart, that 10K is up here, but I've also got Exxon, Apple, Amazon, CVS, et cetera, all up there. Now, we're not going to learn unless we actually do in this course. So we're actually going to apply the rules in a very basic spreadsheet format, okay? Now, my hope is with this class for Chapter 8 and beyond is that we apply the rule in a very basic way and also learn some spreadsheet logic, okay? So this is an example of a spreadsheet we're going to be using. It's in Google Sheets. You can use it in Google or Excel. And what I've done is I've created a highly customized kind of spreadsheet tool for you guys to kind of play around in and kind of compute the segment related rules that we want to look at from a accounting perspective in this chapter. And by applying the rule, we're also going to be looking at Excel and Google Sheet-based logic from a sort of technology. So we're taking technology, combining it with accounting logic, all in one within this chapter 8. We're also going to be looping in, or bringing in SEC data like the 10Ks, which is the annual reports. Kind of bringing this all together in a manner that is required and kind of prized by employers in terms of you having the skill set that's multi-layered. Okay, the ability to understand language like what's a 10K, what are revenues, what's profit, the ability to read an accounting rule and interpret it and make sense of it, and then the ability to kind of apply the logic within a spreadsheet environment. Okay, a quick look ahead to chapter 8. We'll do a lot more in class. Look forward to this week. Thank you.